Hi, welcome to another episode of The Blame Game. I'm Nathan and Maria is joining me, both from PAX8 Academy. So, wanted to catch up and have a conversation. I've had about 6 or 7 times in the last week. Businesses that have grown exponentially over the last 4 or 5 years, a lot of it being driven by what's happening in the wider environment, COVID, things like that, need for digital technology, being able to collaborate, work remotely. As a result, there was a huge amount of demands for Teams and other collaborative tools and people moving to the cloud rather than on-prem infrastructure. What I've been finding lately, and I think you've seen the same, Maria, is that work is starting to dry up now. So I wanted to talk and ask some questions of Maria. What can businesses do today or start focusing on? Because effectively, a lot of account management has become more order fulfillment, and occasionally letting people know that their laptop's going end of life and to buy new ones. People aren't coming to us with the work like they used to. We haven't changed our approach. What would be what are some things that you've noticed, Maria? And yeah, let's start with what you've noticed.
Yeah, I'm having the exact same conversations with our partners. We're hearing, you know, they used to get referrals from
Mm,
for new clients. They used to get their clients used to just call them up and say, "Sell me this new service, sell me this new products." Again, their account managers stopped having to manage accounts and just started taking orders.
mm,
Um, Life became really easy. And so they've fallen out of the habit of having to be account managers, of really having to build those relationships. So let's go back to basics. Let's wind the clock back.
mm,
Do you have a relationship with your accounts? When's the last time you sat down with your clients to find out how their business is? How's things going?
mm,
Not what do they need, not how their laptops are going, what their licensing looks like, whatever happens to whatever their service is. How is their business? How are they as
mm,
people? How is the relationship? Because you're an account manager, that's your job, is to manage the relationship between your business and your client. Um, Take them out for coffee. Are they remote? Have a Teams meeting. Just have a chat. Have a catch up. Start to rebuild that relationship. Find out what their plans are for the business, how things are going. And as part of that conversation, other things may come out of it, but
mm.
that's the first step. Then from there, what do we look at? Well, you need to look at things like white space. Are you selling everything that you sell into all of your accounts? So are you selling cybersecurity? Are all of your clients on your cybersecurity package? If not, why not? Is that a conversation you can start having with each of your clients? Once you've had that relationship conversation with each of your clients, can you go back and have the cybersecurity conversation with each of your clients? Have you had a life cycle conversation with each of your clients? Have you checked and updated the hardware of each of your clients? So these are account management functions as opposed to just taking orders. You are proactively solving their problems. And that's really just order taking proactively as opposed to order taking reactively.
Mm.
That's the first step, is order taking proactively. Going to them and saying, we need to replace your laptop, is order taking proactively, as opposed to laptop dies and we replace it.
Yeah, waiting for things to break. Yeah.
Yeah, that's break fix under a
Mm,
managed service agreement. Lifecycle management is sort of proactively break fixing. But if you're doing a proper relationship lifecycle management, you're planning it out and you're having these relationship management meetings,
mm,
and you're actually talking to them about what the plan is for their business. Are they scaling? Are they planning? Do they have a life cycle business? How is your management of their IT fitting in with their plans and goals for their business?
Mm.
If you've built that relationship with your client, you can help them grow their business. You can help them with their business plan through your IT advice. So
Mm.
it takes time to build that relationship, especially if you've just been an order taker for the last number of years.
Yeah. Where I see it often going off the rails is that people aren't changing the approach that has been, I suppose, tried and true for the last few years of just wait for them to come to us, because more and more there was a push to move to the cloud, and other things like that generated a lot of work. But now they're in the cloud. They may not necessarily know what they need to do next, because it's not as obvious as we need to have people able to work from home because we have an office that we can't go to and everyone's locked down, as an example. So a lot of the time, those decisions around the digital strategy of an organization was directly pushed upon them. It wasn't something they were actively seeing or actively seeking out or actively being spoken through. It was just, you need to do this because if you want to stay in business and provide a service for your clients, you need to move. And what you said before is great too. Go and actually establish a relationship, because I think it got made just way too easy with, I can't actually go and see you. Specifically talking with New Zealand, like, I can't go see you, so let's catch up over Teams, or I'll send you an email and we'll have a little back and forward and kind of leave it there. But yeah, we're not actively, from what I'm seeing, going out and telling clients what is next. What's the next things for technology? Are we helping our clients be more productive or more efficient? Are we helping them leverage new tools and technology? Are we even focusing on upskilling and training in these areas as well ourselves, with Copilot or Power Apps and the Power Platform and things like that we could actually provide real value into our clients? Have we been using that time effectively? Because the other thing that I see often when we're growing in scaling to meet the demand that was there with the projects is, now we've got everyone running at 25% capacity, and we're not doing anything with that 75% that's available. We're not studying for the future. We're not building technology roadmaps. We're not even something I used to do as an engineer, and what I'd recommend a lot of businesses, if they are in this space, do just sleuthing about, looking in clients' environments, checking out their Microsoft Secure Score, having a look at how things are configured, looking at past incidents, seeing if I can identify trends and using that to generate some professional services work. That stuff, again, if you've got the time available, upskill, study, train. From a sales point of view, book some meetings. How many meetings can you book a week to go and have a chat with your clients too, right?
Well, and I think our responsibility, the responsibility of the IT provider is to move to that space of advising clients. We talk about the rise of AI and the rise of computers stealing our jobs, and they will. That, and that's not a scare tactic. There will be more and more automation around what we do. A lot of that side of things is going to become automated, but the advisory capacity cannot be automated. So, if you can step into that advisory role, if you can be the person who says, did you know that from a business perspective, we can provide these services, we can look to the future, we can help you plan, we can help you organize these things, and we can advise you on the right technology to move your business forward. The computer's not going to be doing that. So that's not the function of AI. That's your function as the advisor. So have a think about what can do. And you can only do that if you've got a relationship, because nobody's going to take advice from people do take advice from Reddit, but But generally speaking, we shouldn't be taking advice from Reddit. So your clients will be taking advice from you, and if you can build that relationship back up again. And so what I do say is I say start by picking one client, pick your top client, pick your second from top client, pick a client, make a phone call and say, I'd love to come out and see you. Can I bring coffees? Can I bring donuts?
Mm.
Can I come visit the office? Can I take you out for coffee? Let's just see how things are.
Okay. So it's a great point. Let's say that we're all feeling a bit rusty and we don't really know what to talk about when we get out there now. Like, feeling a little bit anxious. I haven't spoken to a human adult outside of work or outside of the office for the last 3 years. What advice would you have of where to get started or where to get the most, I guess, value or impact from having that meeting? Are there specific questions or specific agendas that we should have when we're going out?
Yeah,
Goals?
this is a really interesting one. I mean, I was talking to a partner and I said, well, you can start with what are your plans for your business over the year? And the partner said, oh, I feel really weird asking that sort of thing. Like what if they come back and say, well, what are your plans for your business? Good idea.
Yeah.
Well, you can share. Well, why can't you? A relationship goes both ways.
Yeah.
That's why it's a relationship. It's not, you're not selling to them, you're working with them. This should be a two-way relationship. But that's all this is. This is a relationship building one. So agenda wise, you can go out. We get caught up in our industry with having the right tools for the job. And a conversation I've had at least half a dozen times in the last couple of weeks is I can't have client meetings. I can't have these account management meetings because I don't have the right
A mouth.
I don't have the
Or
right
ears.
account management software to go and have account management meetings. And I'm like, you're saying you can't speak with your clients because you don't have account management software.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have a mouth. I've forgotten the language that I'm speaking. I can't see them. I can't hear them. I can't talk to them.
That's it.
I don't have hands to write down on paper a whole range of different things that are really stopping us.
That's it. And so, it's like, no, we don't need tools to have these conversations. Yeah, the tools are great. There are some great life cycle tools out there to do life cycle reporting and all these other things. There is some brilliant, software out there for doing all of these things. There are some great CRM tools for account managing, and there, we use PSAs for all sorts of tickets and account management and all sorts of other bits and pieces. Yes, we can use those tools for all of those things, but please don't let them stop you from having a conversation with your clients today. If it means that you are writing notes in a notebook, then write notes in a notebook. If it means that you are keeping notes in your head and just having a conversation and having a cup of coffee or having a beer and having a chat and building a relationship with your clients, then have that. Don't wait for the right tool to do the job, because the job is literally building a relationship. It's not taking a ticket. Yeah, you might end up selling them a laptop or upgrading to a cybersecurity package or something. And I mean, I talked to a partner about this, and they made a phone call to set up one of these relationship meetings. And the client said, oh, actually, I've been meaning to get back to you about that quote you sent me, and I need to sign off on it. So come out, let's have the coffee, and I'll sign off on that quote that I promised I'd sign off on. And so they got the deal. Now, that wasn't the purpose of making the phone call and having the conversation. So win-win.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely a lot of really good points there. One thing that I've got a few things to ask or talk about there. One of the things that really stands out often when you're having these conversations with people that do the account management, owners, or they've got an account manager or a salesperson in their organization, is that fear or avoidance of having a business conversation when your business runs on technology. Your purpose and your value should be to help that business do better business through technology. To do better business through technology, you need to understand what the business is about, what their objectives and their goals are. So elevating yourself from being the person who provides the computer that they plug in and log into and send emails with to actually being a enabler and a partner to their business and helping their business success. Elevating yourself from having that conversation of not just, oh, we've kept the lights on for this many months and this is going end of life, but understanding what is your objective for the year. And like you said, share some of your goals as well, because if they do ask, because you're a business, they're a business. Every business needs to have work to survive.
Yep, absolutely. And one of the conversations that I've had recently is often when you start to have those conversations and when you start to build that relationship, those really great relationships with your clients, you'll find that you can actually grow your business because you start to share that with them, and they say, and you say, well, my business goals are that I want to grow my business and I want to get more involved in this particular vertical industry, and I want to really deep dive and become an expert in this particular field. And they might say, hey, do you know what? I actually know a number of business owners in this field. Let me introduce you because you've been a fantastic provider for us.
Yeah.
If you start to open up and share, you'll find that it actually does make a difference. If you build those relationships, because they see you as a trusted advisor, they can see the benefit of having that great relationship with you. So it is a superpower. Having that relationship is a strength.
So invest some time in having conversations and actually asking questions about the business to show an interest in them, rather than you haven't spoken to them in a few years and you're coming out to tell them about your new cybersecurity package straight off the bat, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So it will be a multi-stage. It will be a multi-stage sales process. So let's say that you are in the process of increasing all your prices, rather than your first visit to them in 3 years being like, by the way, we're putting up all our prices. Maybe make your first visit this month and next month to be, hi, how are you? Let me buy you a coffee. And then your next visit in 6 weeks' time to be, by the way, we're putting up our prices. Make it a multi-stage approach.
Okay.
Slowly build your relationships back up again. It takes time, but have a think about that. And once you've built those relationships, they're the ones that stay. They're the sticky relationships that build stronger businesses.
Often I see where the work is starting to dry up and the revenue's not coming in because projects have started to drop off and we may not be onboarding any new clients. A mistake I've seen a few times over the years is companies go all in on sales and marketing outbound and hoping that they're just going to win a whole bunch of new clients. And from your smile and conversations we had before, you've seen the same thing. Is that a good approach? If you're in a position where you've got underutilized staff, you slowly getting closer and closer to losing money, where is the best bang for your buck?
The best bang for your buck is upselling.
Okay.
So I mentioned before white space analysis. McDonald's does it best, or used to. Have you upsold everything? Have you looked at every single client that you've got? in your and every single thing that you've sold to that you in your list, and have you sold everything you have to every single client you have? And if not, why not? There's obviously a reason in some cases. Why not? But what can you upsell to every client? That's an easier sell. It's an easier sell cycle to sell those things to existing clients than it is to go out and find brand new clients and onboard brand new clients, because they're big projects. They take a lot of time. It's very consuming. And it's a long sales cycle to take on board a new client. It's really quick and easy to upsell small incremental components to existing clients, and it makes them stickier the more they have with you. So that's your quick win, is to do a white space analysis to look at all the gaps that you've got with any of your existing client base as your quick win.
I've been working through this with a few different partners, and yeah, completely agree with what you're saying around the white space. And if you understand the business and what they value or what they need out of it as well, it also makes it an easy conversation, because you can relate it to their business as opposed to relating it to you and what you do and why you're great. Let's say that you're at this point now. What we've been talking about sounds familiar. I want to try and summarize it, and then I'll give you, hopefully there's something I've missed, or I'm sure you'll have something else to add anyway. If you're in this position, go and talk to your clients now. Like, get out there and start doing it. Start booking it in, at least for those initial conversations, right? In addition to that, I think something we haven't addressed is looking at the profitability across those clients as well, and seeing which ones are the most profitable, which ones are bringing in the most revenue, which ones, while bringing in the most revenue, aren't making the most profit, is always an interesting thing to look at. Because if you've got an underutilized service team, can that underutilized service team actually be focused on building efficiency, so as your department grows, you're delivering better value, better services as well, and offsetting and reducing some of the cost on your agreements. Look at the tools that they have, or the products and services that they have from you, after you've had those conversations and gotten to know them, and revert back to some of the basics as well, but do them proactively as opposed to waiting for a laptop to die or someone to ask you for something. Be forthcoming, proactive about those things. Any other takeaways that you'd suggest?
No, the proactive, using your service desk proactively, the white space analysis, actually, interestingly, I know of a partner who started building the white space analysis from a sales perspective, and their service desk saw it and went, oh, hang on a minute, we can use this exact same, the analysis, we're going to use this for our service desk analysis. And they took it and they used the spreadsheet, and it was a spreadsheet. They didn't use a fancy tool.
Yeah.
And they took the spreadsheet and they used it to analyze all the tickets and all the anomalies. And then they also used it for checking all the clients, and that same sort of proactively checking what needed to be upgraded, what needed, where they needed various areas to assess clients and to assist the clients. And if there was where they were noticing issues with clients, patterns across clients, and they said it made a huge difference to their service team as well. So that helped with efficiencies in their service team.
Yeah, sure. Like we're seeing a lot of email incidents for clients that are still on Exchange on-prem. Let's start a campaign or start moving some of these to Exchange online, as an example, right?
Yeah. So they, so then the service team could work with the sales team to say, right, this we've noticed this big problem with efficiencies in our service team, and oh look, it's all of these clients that all have this one problem. You need to upgrade all of those. So it worked really well from and it worked within the MSP for the whole team to start to work together.
Yeah. That's another video that I want to do very soon as well, is the actual real tangible benefits that you get when your service and your sales team actually communicate and work together, which is kind of the point of why we started these anyway. So I want to talk about that at a later point. Wrapping up, go out and talk to your clients. Just start booking some meetings, have some conversations, get to know them, ask them what they want to do, what they're focusing on, what they want to achieve this year. Have a little bit more of a relationship, have some business conversations, and don't make excuses. Take a notepad or take your laptop, type out notes. You don't need anything fancy.
People buy from people.
Mm.
And if the people don't know the people, they're not going to buy from you. They're not going to want to work with you.
Yeah.
That's how you lose clients.
Cool. Thanks, Maria.
Thank you.